Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Success Life Live. My name is G Reid. I am your coach, and I am glad that you joined me this morning for another episode, edition, get together of Success Life Live. Again, it's 8 a.m. Eastern. We do this each and every weekday morning as a way of getting this mindset right, getting this belief system in tune, tuning up our thinking to tune up our day and to attract the success that we desire into our lives, into our business, into our family, fitness, finance, and everything else. So take a moment, jump in, say good morning. Good morning, Belinda. Good buen dia. Sorry, Greg, I almost went American on you. American as opposed to English. Good morning, Todd. I see a couple other people. Good morning, Dr. Lowe, our fun friend, Friday Riot Starter in the house on Friday. Y'all are going to want to be here for Fun Friend Friday. Dr. Tanya Lowe is an amazing, amazing leader, thinker, and she's just come out with a new book, so we're going to get to peel back the cover on her new book and the new project that she's creating. She is a riot starter extraordinaire, so you are going to want to be in the house. I promise you. Good morning, Rebby. Good morning, everybody. Wow, everybody piling in. I love this. Take a minute. Let's get a shout out where we're at. I am in chilly Atlanta, Georgia this morning. Woke up and it was 27 degrees. I mean, come on. It's like being back in Minnesota. I actually saw somebody post what's the wind chill factor. I thought, you know, unless the temperature's down around the teens, we don't discuss wind chill factor. So great morning to everybody. And again, thank you for joining me for Success Life Live. Like I said, we get together, get this thing going in the right direction, because as a coach, what I know is that when we start thinking right, we start moving right. And when we start moving right, we move in the direction of our dreams instead of letting everything else decide who and what we are and what we're worthy of and what our life should look like. I'm sorry, got something playing over here in the corner. So take a moment, pull out your notebooks, pull out your pens and papers, and let's get started for today's Success Life Live. I want to talk about self-discipline. And I had put the quote above, but I'm going to read it again. Self-discipline is the ability to do what you should do, when you should do it, whether you feel like it or not. Now, the end part is the part that everybody gets stuck on it, whether you feel like it or not. So often, and we all do this. I mean, I'm guilty of it. I've been fighting this head cold thing, and trust me, there are mornings I'm like, I do not want to get up. I don't feel like getting on Facebook Live. I don't feel like thinking and writing and doing all. But then I said, wait a minute. These feeling things, they're not the same ones I had yesterday, and they're probably not going to be the same ones that I'll have tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. So why am I building my life around temporary things called feelings? Why am I letting my business decisions, my financial decisions, my fitness, my family, and my health decisions be based on temporary things? Oh, wait a minute, because that's the way the world has programmed me to think. That's the way other people, average people, non-success thinkers think. They walk through life going, well, you know, if you don't feel like it, don't do it. You got to be in touch with yourself. You know, if it doesn't feel right, back away from it. And I do believe we have to follow our gut, our God undertow, as I like to think of it. But I also know that I can't rely on my feelings for good judgment. You know, I'll hear somebody say, well, I hope my book sells, or I hope my fitness plan works out, or I hope this date night thing works. I'm like, hope is a really weak business plan. That's not a plan for success. Let's get something more concrete. Let's get something more designed. Let's get something more strategic in place. And then let's hold to it beyond the feeling point. Let's hold onto it beyond the point that we think we feel about it, and we just start doing it. You know, I started Facebook Lives. I honestly just, if I'm lying, it's not intentional, over a year and a half ago. It may actually be 2 years ago. And I remember the first one. I was like, oh, God, I don't want to do this. I'm so scared. I'm so filled with fear, blah, blah, blah. All of the emotions that anybody that hasn't done it yet probably is thinking. And then I got called into this challenge. And it was like, well, just do a 30-day challenge. I was like, oh, God, I hate 30-day challenges because I am a very competitive person. And if I sign up for the 30-day challenge, I'm going to follow through with it. That's the whole point of 30-day challenges, by the way. is to appeal to that competitive nature. So I did the 30-day challenge, and then like literally midday, day 30, I'm like, whoop, whoop, did it, get to drop it, got to move on, don't need to do it anymore. And then my coach said, so what did you learn? How did it impact your life? And we went back and we reflected and we reviewed, and it was like, oh my gosh. And I could see the value of having to study every day, to prepare some content, to write content, to show up on time, to have carved out in my schedule this block of time that, like everything else, I had to figure out around. Okay, I had to go to the gym earlier. Okay, I had to schedule this after. And I started to realize that having that chunk, that piece, that thing that I had committed to doing, whether I felt like it or not, started to impact all of these other areas of my life and in a positive way. And I had to start giving up things that didn't benefit me, didn't add to me, didn't grow me, because I had to finish this, and then I had to do this and this and this and this piece. And so the 30-day challenge became a 31, and then a 32, and then we joked about making it 100, and then when we passed 100, I think we said something about what would happen if we did 500. At that point, I was done feeling my way into it. I was done believing that I liked it, that it felt good, that it was exciting. I was now hooked. Like fish hooked on the benefits that I was receiving by staying consistent for those first 30 days. I had read more books, researched more topics, developed more speaking notes. I can now, and I say this with confidence, not with ego, not to impress you, but to understand, to help you understand. If I walked into a room today and somebody say, hey, you know what, our speaker just got a call, they're sick, they're not available. Could you give us like 3 to 5 minutes, maybe even push it to 10 or 15 on this topic? I could with fair confidence go, yeah, if you give me 5 minutes, I've got something either in my notes, which I carry with me pretty much all the time, or I could go back and look at an old Facebook Live and sort of get my fresh, or I could go into my blog because I've written well over 100 blogs by now, and I could pull some piece of content together and I could deliver confidently. Because I have been doing something so consistently that now I don't have to worry about what it's going to feel like. How am I going to react? You know, what do people got? Like, I'm past all the feelings. Now I just go into the production of it. If you had asked me on day one of my first Facebook Live, and I've been sitting in that same room, and they would have said, yeah, our speaker called in sick, they're not able to show, could you do it? I would have like made every excuse on the planet to get out of the opportunity. I would have jumped, bumped, bailed, done whatever I had to do to get out of the room so they didn't even notice me. Why? Because my feelings were guiding the results. Now, all right, you need me? Call me. Pick up the phone. I can be there. I can put this together. I can do it. I've rehearsed it. I practiced. I went beyond the feelings. I went into the discipline of growing myself in an area that's important to me. If fitness and finance are important to you, what are you doing daily to consistently add to that skill set of getting better and better at it? If you're saying, you know what, I am sick and tired of the credit card debt that is crippling my family and we're moving towards Christmas and I only see it growing instead of shrinking, stop bitching, start doing. And if you say, you know, it's not going to feel really good to tell my family we can't have a big expensive Christmas, we can't have the turkey and the 20 presents and the 50-foot trees, let go of the feeling. You know what? Every day we need to find a way of paying $5 more, $10 more, $20 more to reducing our debt. Because I'm thinking long term. I'm thinking in 2 to 3 years, when we have no debt and we've increased our savings double, triple, quadruple, and somebody walks up and says, how'd you like an opportunity to invest in this business? In 3 to 5 years, you'll probably double, triple your money and you'll build a lifetime of legacy. Do you want to say, oh, you know what? I was really feeling guilty that Christmas and I went out and bought everything my kids wanted, so I can't do it now. Or do you want to say, you know what? I have been disciplined in my savings and in my spending and in my finance and in the things that would grow my wealth. Yeah, I can take care of that opportunity. I'm going to jump into that opportunity. I'm going to become that person. Not a problem. If you're sitting there worrying and complaining about your fitness, if you wake up and go, you know what, I hate going to the gym, oh, this diet's killing me, blah, 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 get past the feeling. You've got kids, you've got lives, you've got spouses, you've got people who are standing around you expecting you to be around for a little bit longer. And they don't want to start talking about how to improve your health when you're sitting in the ER and they're talking about quadruple heart bypasses or how to manage you now that you've had a stroke. No, you're not going to suddenly develop a better feeling about your fitness then. It's not about your feelings. It's about getting done what you got to get done to get to where you need to get to have the life that you want to have. You're not going to wake up tomorrow morning and suddenly feel different about your body, about the fitness, about the diet plan, whatever, because it doesn't work that way. Self-discipline is not based on what you're feeling. Self-discipline is about what you got to get done to get it done, to do it when you don't want to do it so that you can have what you want to have when other people are bitching and mitching about not having none of it. Don't ask me to repeat that. If you want to have what you want to have, then you got to do what you got to do to get it done. And you've got to quit building businesses and lives around this, I don't feel like it. It doesn't feel right. Oh, you don't understand. Nobody supports me. Nobody encourages me. Nobody loves me. Nobody's holding award ceremonies for me. It just feels so lonely. All right, so what? So what? Because I tell you what will happen if you took on a 30-day challenge, and that's often what we start off in coaching with, is like a 15-day, a 10-day, a 30-day challenge of what are we going to alter in your life? What is the new pattern? What is the new behavior? What is the new system you're going to put in place today? Not Monday, not on the 1st, not on the 25th, not on the anniversary of your, cat's funeral or whatever. Starting now, what is it we're going to do? And then part of my job as a coach is to keep tracking and watching and seeing those numbers, seeing those changes, seeing those results. So that when you throw up, I just don't feel like it, I'd be able to say, wait a minute. Remember back when we started this, you had $10,000 in debt. You couldn't walk up the steps in your home without catching your breath. Your number of available clients was 0, and now you've got 4 or 5 people in the pipeline that in 90 days, whatever it is. Remember back when. Now look where we're at. Did we get here because we felt like it, or because we developed the discipline and stuck with it past the feelings? And they'll all be like, oh my gosh, I can't see that. I didn't see that. And I'm like, yeah, I understand that. Because you've been so busy looking at the feelings. You've been so busy expressing your feelings that you haven't taken time to look at your success. Now when you look at your success, now when you look at the mileage, now when you look at what you accomplished, how do you feel? And often a coaching client will be like, I feel great, rock it on, bring on the next 30-day challenge, coach, bring on the next 90-day commitment. But we don't get there because so often we try and go it alone. We try and hold ourselves accountable, and we sort of lay there in bed in the morning and hit the snooze bar and say, I just don't feel like going to the gym. I just don't feel like doing another Facebook Live. I just don't feel like, packing my lunch instead of buying in the cafe. I just don't feel like, and we look around and there's nobody going, come on, we're getting past the feeling part. We're getting into the discipline. We made a commitment. We're showing up. All right? What I'm telling you is you gotta hold, because I have here, and I was writing some notes. The two enemies are always the path of least resistance and the expedience factor. We always look in that moment of feeling like, okay, what is the least I can do to get past? What is the least resistant? Who is the least resistant? Who will buy my story, my excuse, my feeling thing? And then how can I get to them, through them, past this commitment as quickly as possible with doing as little work as possible? And then we end up back where we're at, doing what we're doing, complaining about the life we have, complaining about the situation we're in, complaining about everything that's going on. And I'll turn to you at that point and I'll say, so tell me what your plan was. Well, and it always starts this way. Amen. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a heart. Give me a 1. Give me a 2. Whatever you want. If you've heard this before. Well, I had this plan too. Yeah, I had past tense, this plan too, blah, blah, blah. Or, yeah, I signed up for this 30-day challenge, but. Oh, okay. So you gave up halfway through. You had this plan and didn't follow through. And often when I do the coaching question, I'll say, so why? Explain to me why. Well, you don't understand. I was feeling, like at that point, I just want to jump up and go, okay, stop. Because anything that went, I was feeling, I know was just temporary, but you allowed temporary to become permanent in your life and knock you off track and take you out of your dream. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. So what is the lesson? What is the take-home piece? I'm not saying deny your feelings. I'm not saying bottle them up, lock them away, become the man of stone. What I'm saying is when you commit to something, you have this level. Start making a covenant with yourself. One of those unbreakable promises that you can't be released from about a dream, about a goal, about a desire you want to create in your life. And then tell yourself or tell somebody or hire somebody, say, here's what I want to do. I'm going to do it for 30 days. I need an accountability partner. I need a coach. I need something to hold me online. And no matter how I'm feeling, don't let me break it. Don't let me step out of it. Don't let me get beyond it. And then begin to record and begin to track and begin to journal what's happening during that 30-day journey. And every time you want to give up, go home, toss it in the trash, go, wait a minute. 10 days ago, I weighed 5 pounds more. If I can continue to do this 10 times 10 times 10, oh my gosh, I could be 15, 20, 30 pounds later. 10 days ago, I was $10,000 in debt. I'm now $9,900 in debt. If I continue to do this, you get the point? Track the progress, track the change, track what's going on. Stay committed to the results, not to the feeling, and you will get hooked. Like I said, when I started this thing, it was a 30-day challenge. I've had many people, I think a couple of them might be here, that came to me and said, I want to do what you're doing. How do I do it? And I said, you have now a 30-day challenge starting today. Guess what? You're doing Facebook Live every day for 30 days. And they were like, oh, freaking out. Now I watch half of them and they're now in their half year and their year long. And I ask them how it is. And they're like, I love it. I'm hooked. It's like, if I don't do it, I feel like my day is out of balance. It's not because they get anything out of it. You know, it's not like they're getting called by NBC or Good Morning America. It's because they love the results that they're getting in all of the other areas of their life because they committed to one thing and staying true to it. There is a compound effect that happens with self-discipline. You don't have to worry about being disciplined about your finance if you get really focused about your health, because somehow that programming of discipline and commitment and sticking to it begins to spread out into your relationships and into your finance and into your fitness and into your business and into everything you're doing. So if you're one of these people that tries to change the universe and like, okay, I'm going to become disciplined about this, and this, you should start a TV station. Okay, Allison, you arrange it. I'll be the Good Morning America host. You can be my co-host. We'll have coffee together and we'll change the world. Change people's lives so they can change the world. There's this thing that happens that when you develop the discipline, when you develop the focus, when you develop the commitment in one area, and you begin to see the results, your brain, your non-conscious, your non-awake thing says like, look, if we're getting something happening here and it's going in the direction we want, maybe we should see what happens if we try it over here or try it over there. And then guess what happens? Pretty soon your kids and your spouse and your family and your business partners and those around you are like, hey, I'm looking at his life and it looks pretty good. And I noticed that every single morning he does this ritual, this discipline thing. So I'm going to start to copy that. So self-discipline isn't always about self. It can have a massive, massive effect on others around you as well. So I encourage you to really sit down. We're not done with the year. It's not over. You don't need to pack it up and put it away until January 1st. Start today. Find a 7-day challenge. Find a 14-day challenge. Call me and say, look, this is what I want to create. Could you coach me for the next 30 days on being disciplined into it? Whatever it is. Because I tell you, 30 days will become 60, will become 90, will become a lifestyle for you. And that's where you begin to build your life of success. That's where you begin to live a life of success. And if you're in the middle of changing your life, if you're in the middle of doing something and you hear yourself saying, oh, I just don't feel, just go, doesn't matter what I feel. I made a commitment. I made a covenant with myself and my dreams that I cannot be released from until it is come to pass. And so therefore, get up, get it done. Get it done, buddy man. That's what it's got to be. So yeah, there are many mornings at 5 o'clock or whatever that I'll be laying there in bed and I'll be like, I just don't feel like it. And in the back of my head, there's this little thing that says, doesn't matter, get gone. Doesn't matter, get to it. It's almost like self is laughing at self, like, I don't care. Like, really? You want to try that I don't feel like thing? We tried that like 100 times ago and we didn't buy it then. What makes you think we're going to buy it today? So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. What I got to tell you today, find your discipline. Don't think of it as denying. Don't think of it as self-sacrificing. Don't think of it as, oh, I'm going to have to go through this Lent period where I deny myself. No. Self-discipline is like taking a magnifying glass on your dream and one of the steps in that dream and exploding it and committing to it, and nailing to it and coveting it to it and just holding to it in a way that nobody can pry it out of your hands. Because in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, you'll look back and think, whew, how did I get here? And I'll be able to tell you, it wasn't because you felt your way there. It was because you did what you needed to do when it needed to get done, whether you felt like it or not. That's how you build a legacy. And speaking of legacies, I see Pat joined us. She is a future Fun Friend Friday guest. If y'all don't know Pat, you better check her out. She is wisdom. I am like so excited for Pat. Pat is, I mean, I say with love and grace, she is our sort of the grandmother to many of us. She is an inspirer. She is a teacher. She is a woman of faith. And I'm excited for her too. So we got so many good Fun Friend Friday guests coming up and author talks coming up. I promise, today the graphic will go up showing you from now until the end of January who's being on Fun Friend Friday and author talk and all of the other things. Graphics and PowerPoints and that kind of stuff, infographics are not my strength. So I pushed that out and they said they'll push it back to me today. But anyhow, Dr. Tanya Lowe will be on the house Friday for Fun Friend Friday, the original Riot Starter, and that's a good thing, and you'll find out why on Friday. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern. I hope you will invite somebody to join us in the room. Take a moment, share this out, grow the community, like it, comment, and when you share it, do this little thing for me. Tell me like why you wanted to share it, like what was the value in it that you pushed it out to somebody else to see. I mean, I appreciate when you share it. I'm not going to lie. I mean, kind of nice to look and see 5 shares, 2 shares, 3 shares, whatever. But make sure the people that you're sharing it with understand why you thought it was of value to them and why they should be listening in, learning in, and joining us each and every morning at 8 a.m. Eastern. And if I can help you get to where you want to get in life, to break through those belief systems, to create the transformation in your life that you know you are worthy of, and to help you to begin to live your life of success, reach out and call me. Tag me, personal message me. You can always find me at ericgreid.com. There's a contact button right there on the page. And like I said, I'm fully prepared now. You just, well, locally, I guess. If it's outside the local area, we'll have to schedule it. But if you walk into a room and like, man, we need a speaker and no one's here. I got well over 30 days, 100 days of doing this thing every single day. I have disciplined and learned and grown in a way that prepares me to live my dream. To be able to take on that TV day show. You know, I get a call from Good Morning America or not Good Morning, Kelly and Ryan. And Ryan's out. I think I could sit in this chair for an afternoon and make it look at least good. So build now for the dream you want. Stay disciplined to the activities that are going to get you to that place that you want to be at. Get past the feelings and into the actions, all right? And until we get together tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern, go out and live your life with success. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.